here now with reaction is U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Great to see you. How are you?
Great to see you, Sean.
I only get to see you on satellite, so it's good to see you in person.
You too.
Let's talk about the overall problem. And I contend that if you don't have law and order and safety and security, you can't pursue happiness.
That's right.
4,000 dead under Pritzker. What's your reaction to him?
Yeah, he is apoplectic that Donald Trump wants to come in and help Chicago and fix Chicago and make Chicago safe. Going back to Memphis, you gave the great stats on Memphis. You know how many missing children we found in Memphis? 44. Finding one missing child makes it all worthwhile. 44 missing children.
By the way, what is a missing child?
A missing child is a missing child who's been taken away from their parents, abducted children who are on their own, all under the age of 18. Teenagers and younger, 44 missing children. Some have been taken by non-custodial parents, but 44 have been recovered. Finding one is enough to make it all worthwhile. And then you take that to Chicago. They had 571 homicides last year. Pritzker should be begging Donald Trump to come in. And, you know, on what you said about Memphis, we have Mayor Paul Young working with us. He's amazing. He's a Democrat. He wants to make Memphis safe. Right here in D.C., Sean, look how safe D.C. is now because of Muriel Bowser working with Donald Trump. Metro Police, Transit Authority Police, right here, working with all of our federal agents hand in hand, and our National Guard. Pritzker's lost his mind.
I've been here all day. It's a discernible difference.
Thanks to Donald Trump.
It is a discernible difference. It's a very different place. So the president, I guess he talked about if they will not enforce the law, if they will not keep American citizens safe in towns and cities, that it may result in him invoking the Insurrection Act. Let's talk about the legality of that.
Sure. He absolutely has the right to do that, the legal authority to do that. We didn't have to do it in Los Angeles. They came in, they cleaned up the riots. You saw, look how much better L.A. is after the president brought in the National Guard. But look at Portland, look at Chicago. They're sanctuary cities, they're sanctuary states. They are forbidding in Chicago, this mayor, Brandon Johnson, is forbidding the police to work with ICE to get illegal aliens off the streets. Here's one example. There was an illegal Mexican in Chicago. He should have been in prison, illegally there. He was in prison. He got released from prison. Instead of being deported, they kept him right there, and he beat a 21-year-old to death. In Chicago. How are they condoning this behavior?
Did you see that they took down a fence that was protecting an ICE facility? They keep using language. I think language does have an impact on people. And when you call people a Nazi, a fascist, Gestapo, you know, Gestapo-like tactics, et cetera, does this not have an impact on people? Do you dehumanize them to the point where you can convince maybe unstable people that they're doing the will of God if, they challenge and take them on?
Well, sure, and that's one of the things about Antifa. You've heard President Trump say multiple times they are organized, they are a criminal organization, and they're very organized. You're seeing people out there with thousands of signs that all match, pre-bought, pre-put together. They're organized, and someone is funding it. We're going to get to the funding of Antifa. We're going to get to the root of Antifa, and we are going to find and charge all of those people who are causing this chaos in Portland and all these other cities across our country. Talk to all the influencers who have been threatened and beat up and their lives threatened from Antifa members. It's going to stop under Donald Trump. And then Pritzker in Chicago I think he's the worst one of all. He really is, because he's just encouraging this, and he doesn't care about the people of Chicago like Donald Trump does.
All right, let me ask you this, because the left is claiming that Antifa is not a real organization. We've known it's been a real organization for the longest time. I think getting to the bottom of who is okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I read that Glenn Beck recently got asked by the FBI about what he knew about the funding, because this is something he dug into, you know, the years he was at Fox. And he believes that there is a funding effort, which to me I conclude what it seems to be is they want to bring down American society. They are working against the American people. What would that be? What would that be called?
It would be organized crime, and that's what they're doing. And you're watching it in Portland. Portland really is the prime example, and President Trump just had So many of the influencers whose lives were threatened, who were Caitlin, the beautiful blonde woman who had the black eye from an Antifa member. They're threatening them online with violent acts. It's organized crime. They're completely organized. They're at all of these events. They're encouraging violence. They're calling everyone fascist. But it's more than that. It's hurting the American people. And that's why they're no different than MS-13 or any gang out there.
What do you make? I've raised this question a lot. And if you are a sanctuary city or a sanctuary state and you're providing benefits for people, right now we're in the middle of a government shutdown, in part because Democrats want taxpayers to fund illegal immigrants and their health care. Okay, that's $1.5 trillion they want to fund the government for a whopping 7 weeks. In L.A., they declare a state of emergency and to aid residents hit by immigration raids. How, Madam Attorney General, how is that not aiding and abetting in law breaking?
It is, Sean. It is. And, you know, you've got Chuck Schumer out there fundraising during a government shutdown. He's fundraising in California during the shutdown. Yet you have our men and women of all of our federal agencies probably not going to get a paycheck. We're going to do everything we can to take care of them. But people working during a shutdown to keep all of these citizens safe. They don't care about their citizens. You know, Schumer says it's the greatest thing to happen to Democrats. Really? To happen to our country? It's hurting the citizens, and we're going to keep fighting for the American people. That's what Donald Trump does, and that's what he's going to continue to do, whether it's Chicago, Portland, Memphis, right here in D.C., all over this country. He's going to keep Americans safe because they're not. And the people here are seeing what's happening, and they're loving it in Washington, D.C.
Let me ask you a final question. As we now dig deeper into the Russia hoax and FISA applications and the pre-bunking of Hunter's laptop in 2020, weaponization and lawfare from 2020 to 2024, Kash Patel talked about a grand conspiracy. Do you see a possibility of that?
Nothing is off the table, and no one is above the law. No one is above the law. They thought they could target Donald Trump for 4 years, and they did. They almost got away with it, but now he's the president of the United States, and everyone is on equal footing. There is one tier of justice in this country.
Madam Attorney General, thank you for joining us. Good to see you. Great
Thank
to be
you.
in
Thank
Washington.
you, Sean.
Although I have to get out of here. I start breaking out after a while. Good to see you.
It's not that bad.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.